Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today we're going to do one of those no bullshit videos where I give you guys some tough love and talk to people about having a little bit of patience. And I'm going to get two examples of some people who are sending me stuff, in particular one that I just saw about 5 minutes ago on the Facebook fan page. And I think it's these people don't understand that changes in the body happen slowly other than during initial jumps, like when you first start losing weight, when you're obese, when you start trying to gain muscle, when you've been sedentary, or even quick changes when someone first jumps on some sort of performance-enhancing drugs. Any of those sort of situations cause immediate fast results, and then they come to a very, very slow halt. And doesn't mean they stop, they just slow down. And that is the nature of changes in your body. The only thing that doesn't slow down is if you keep eating and stuffing your face and laying around. Your fat gains will probably never slow down. But anything that involves gaining strength, gaining muscle, or losing fat is a slow process beyond the initial point to where you start, or when some major catalyst for change is introduced. And I think it's these same people who actually look at what I've done and say, well, I mean, you've been training for a little over 2 years now after you were debilitated and spent 10 months in bed. You should be benching 500 pounds by now. You should be squatting 650. You used to be bigger and stronger, so why haven't you just bounced back? I mean, you've had 2 years. Well, guys, welcome to the real world. It takes many years to achieve certain results. And no matter what you do, no matter how you train, no matter how you eat, no matter what even drugs you put into your body, there are finite limits to what the body will do per month. And the more you progress, the slower that's going to get. And I think it seems like a lot of people on the internet seem to be clueless about this. And I'll give you an example. A guy just sent me his stuff saying he's been cutting since January. He doesn't know why he's stalled. His maintenance was 3,500 calories. He dropped to 3,000 calories, dropped weight, stalled pretty quick, and then had to drop it to 2,750. Now, and this is going back to January, but he said he's lost 6.5 kilos. 6.5 kilos. For those who don't know that in pounds, that is, I don't know, approximately 15 pounds. This guy's lost 15 pounds since January. Doesn't seem to have lost any muscle mass. If anything, he's gained muscle, according to what I can see from what he sent me. Yet he's claiming he stalled. And this guy, I checked, and he's been recording his weight and his caliper measurements. He's been taking skin folds every single week and charting them on a program. I took a screenshot. Now, the guy is claiming that he stalled, but when you look at this week's stuff that he put up and you go back 1 month, he was something like 0.2 or 0.3 kilograms lighter, which is about a half pound, maybe 3/4 of a pound less weight. All of his skin folds went down. Every single week during that entire month and up to that point, all of his skin fold measurements went down, which means he has less fat according to a caliper. Now, if anything, it looks like he may have even gained muscle. If his caliper readings have been consistent, this guy has lost like a half a pound to 3/4 of a pound of body weight in a month. Skin folds went down and looks like he gained a small amount of muscle, yet this person is convinced that he's stalling. And this is the type of obsessive problems that people have in this industry who aren't competing in anything. You're not trying to be a professional athlete or a professional bodybuilder. You shouldn't be that obsessed. And the fact of the matter is, if you made progress, no matter what your goal is, doesn't matter whether your goal is to be stronger or to gain muscle or to have better cardiovascular stamina when running or to lose fat, if at every given point you are slightly better than you were the month before, that is never a stall. I don't care how small that progress is. I don't care if you shaved 5 seconds off your 5 kilo run time. I don't care if you only put 1 pound onto your bench press. I don't care if you only lost a few ounces of body fat and 0.5 millimeter on a skin fold measurement somewhere for losing body fat. If you have made any progress at all, you have not stalled. You're still progressing. And guess what? That's cumulative. Well, keep doing what you're doing. Because if you keep making those little things month after month after month, year after year, as long as you consistently make progress. So people need to learn to be patient and realize that these are not true stalls. A true stall on body weight means that, or fat loss, for example, means that you guy taking his skin folds, the skin folds do not change. They don't go down 0.5 millimeter. They don't go down at all. The scale has stalled completely also, because remember, you can have several weeks of no change on the scale and then swoosh, but those body fat measurements are going to go down. If you use a caliper, it's going to go down. If you go get a DEXA scan, it's going to read less body fat because the extra water retention is not going to register as fat. So just because you've stalled it or holding a little water doesn't mean you haven't lost fat. And the reality is, if you are maintaining a given caloric intake, a given activity, and you have lost, say, 1 pound of fat in the last month, there is no way that your fat loss itself is going to stall enough so that you're not losing fat in only a month's time, having gone from losing at least a pound the month before. It doesn't work that way. You've either changed your activity or changed your intake, because metabolic adaptations do not change that quickly and at that type of deficit. The people who see a 10% slowdown in metabolic rate based upon hormones are people who've lost dramatic amounts of weight and are running very large deficits. So guys, learn to be patient and realize that if you are making progress, you are making progress, and any progress at all does not represent a stall. A stall doesn't mean that you're not making the progress you want to make, because if we all made the progress we all want to make, everybody who wants to gain muscle would gain 50 pounds of muscle in a year. Everyone who wants to be a power lifter would have a 450-pound raw bench press after a year of training and a 700-pound squat. But guess what? It doesn't work that way in the real world, guys. Just because you're not progressing at some dream rate that you think you should doesn't mean that you have stalled. Focus on the long term. These things are long-term endeavors. They don't happen overnight. All right, guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.